The 208-year-old London-based international property agency Chesterton has just made Dubai their MENA headquarters as it expands regionally in the UAE and into Saudi, Qatar and other markets. In the studio to talk us through the choice of Dubai as a hub is Simon Gray, as the Managing Director Chesterton MENA. Very good morning to you, Simon. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for the invitation.
How many people are you putting into your new Dubai office?
We at the moment have about 27 staff, and we envisage that expanding probably up to about 35 to 40 over the next 12 to 18 months.
Is it a brand new office, or is it just that the designation has changed? Instead of being a Dubai office, it's now a MENA office?
No, we've always intended to have it as a MENA office. We see Dubai very much as the hub for MENA, and its attractions are well known.
And which markets in the region are you going to be looking at on top of the Emirates?
The focus for us, I think, will be Saudi. We're looking at becoming operational there probably by the end of this year in both Jeddah and Riyadh. And also we're looking to establish a representative office in Qatar. Given
that Saudi isn't the open market that the UAE is in terms of freehold for foreigners and foreigners allowed to buy, what sort of business will you be involved in there?
The focus for us in Saudi are very much driven from the local business, which will be predominantly the local buying and selling of local real estate to the Saudis, and also the professional consultancy business, which is the valuation and feasibility side of the business.
One of the problems in Saudi Arabia is that a lot of wealthy families and individuals own land near the city centres and don't want to sell it. They see it as a long-term investment, and that so that's why some of the cities like Riyadh, they don't go upwards but they go outwards a very, very long way.
Exactly.
How are you going to sort of attempt to change that, or is it something that needs to be changed, do you think?
Well, I don't think it can be changed, and
you're not going to force anyone to sell the land, I'm sure.
I'm sure if we could change it, we'd try. But I think for us, it's more working with the established developers in Saudi, working alongside the banks to provide professional advice, valuation, feasibility studies, to make sure that when they do expand sideways, they get it right.
Mm-hmm. So, Simon, why Dubai, and why now? It's 2013. Why have you decided to establish and grow the business here in Dubai?
Well, I think we see Dubai, obviously, on two sides. One, we're servicing the local market, the Dubai market, the UAE market. We see tremendous opportunities here with the return to growth of the real estate market and the economy. And Dubai, obviously, we consider to be the hub of the MENA region for the well-established reasons.
Mm-hmm. And how much of your plans for the head office are hinging on things like Dubai getting the Expo 2020?
Well, we see Expo 2020 as a, if you like, that's a long-term investment for Dubai and people who work here. It raises the profile, it raises the Dubai brand internationally. I see it another rung in the ladder, if you like, as Dubai's growth, and it continues to be recognised as an international hub.
Mm-hmm. And should that not happen, do you see much downside to the way the economy is tracking? Should that not happen?
No, I think for me it's an add-on. The Dubai economy is stable and growing. So it's very much an add-on, an added benefit.
Yeah, the bid team reckon they could get something like 5 or 6 million visitors coming in for it, which sounds a lot by the Dubai standards, but not as many as China when they had it. The last one had 75 million visitors, but
exactly.
Still, that many people coming in and liking Dubai may well decide to settle or to buy a property here. So it's a great advert for the city.
Exactly.
You're working with 35 banks in the region to help them mark real estate assets to market. How realistic are they being? I mean, have some still got their head in the clouds and are unwilling to write their investments down?
No, I think the majority are realistic. Certainly there's been a sea of change in the last 2 years where the banks are now addressing the problems with the assets they hold. And we're finding they're being very realistic when it comes to the actual disposal of them.
As we talk about banks sort of adjusting their market price, I mean, discuss for us, if you will, the concept of value in a property. I mean, the bill price of a property or the asking price doesn't necessarily equate to value. What's the equation behind that?
Well, the equation at the moment is that the value is now beginning to equate more to build price plus profit. Now, obviously, when the market crashed, those calculations went completely out of the window. I think in the last probably 12 to 18 months, you've seen a return to growth in the real estate market, which is showing that if you look at the developments that are coming through, they're pricing correctly. So you're getting developers who are building a reasonable profit margin and allowing the market to actually partake in the market.
Simon, Dubai is very much, when it comes to property, a city based on location. You could have the same quality of apartment, same quality of villa, built by the same developer, but very differing valuations. How do you factor those kind of elements into a city that is effectively growing and effectively it's going to be changing, and the economy has got that momentum? How do you, kind of evaluate those kind of elements?
Well, I think the good news is that the market has returned to the basics of what drives value, which is location, quality of build, and actually in this part of the world, the project being finished. Whereas obviously pre-08, it was driven not by that at all. Irrespective of location, real estate sold. So now the return to growth here has been driven by well-located, well-built, finished product.
And I presume
That's
it's
driving value.
location still.
Exactly.
Or again, I should
again, it's come back. So that's very positive for Dubai.
And when it comes to valuation trends, say in the UAE and the prime real estate market, and comparing that to the UK and the prime real estate market there, how does it stack up against places like the UK?
Well, I think they both attract investment for the same fundamentals. The UK has shown historical and is now showing again strong performance and growth. It's an international business, trade, investment, and tourist hub. It's an international centre for communications and a hub for transport. And all of those could be applied to Dubai.
And are you mainly referring to London?
No, I'm saying both. That's London. That could be flipped to Dubai.
Right.
My brother, who lives within the M25, said the value of his price. He's been reading all these stories about London price.
Yeah.
He said his values haven't changed at all in the last 10 years. So he said, where is this? So when you talk about London, you're presumably talking about very
prime central London.
Absolutely,
prime central
downtown.
London. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's driving the market at the moment in central London, basically. Obviously, outside of London, it's a very different story. Location again.
I mean, have you looked at the value of sales here in the region? Do you know how much more of Dubai's property is being sold?
The statistics I've seen from the Lands Department is that transactions are up on the first quarter up by 30% compared to the Q1 the year before. So tremendous increase.
Do you know how much of that includes things like we've seen recently Nikhil suing companies to pay for the world developments?
Right.
Does that include all the money coming in for those sort of catch-up money?
I think it would be. I think you'll find that would be a small proportion. I think the majority is driven by, if you like, fresh sales.
And what about the more speculative side of the market, where we seem to have been growing out of, hopefully, but there are still a lot of those, Emaar has announced off-plan, and there is a lot of enthusiasm for that. Is that a space that you're looking at as well, and how cautious are you around those kind of projects?
Well, obviously, as a real estate consultant, would like to be involved in them, but most of the major developers have actually brought in some very good regulations and guidelines which governs the release of projects. So the agents themselves often are not involved. You will never get rid of speculators in the market. They exist anywhere in the world in real estate. You had gazumping in the UK. You get it here. What's happening now is more of the developers and the authorities are bringing in regulations and guidelines which will slowly squeeze them down to a minority, which again is positive for the market.
And we talked at the beginning of this interview about Saudi Arabia. What about the footy capital for 2022, Doha? Presumably there's a lot going on up there as well. Are you seeing that as a big market for yourself?
We see it as as I said at the beginning, it's a representative office for us. We see Doha. We will provide professional valuation services, and we'll look at the investment side of the business, which is the working with capital moving out of Doha around the region, around the world.
I mean, they do have freehold sales up there. You can buy up there.
Yeah.
In the same way that the Expo 2020 would act as a good showcase for Dubai, do you think the World Cup is going to do that for Doha?
I think it will.
Or is it a different sort of market of people they're getting in
there? It is
there?
a different market. I think Doha is not as internationally recognised as Dubai.
Not only that, but I think the people coming in for the football are likely to be different for the people coming in for the Expo 2020.
I think so. Very much so.
Thanks very much indeed for joining us this morning. Simon Gray, Managing Director, Chesterton MENA, and good luck with your new office. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.